Okay, so let me ask you a question. When you go off to buy a car, do you just buy the first one you come across that has a for sale sign in it? Probably don't. At least I don't. Whenever I'm going to make a purchase that big, I'm going to go and do a lot of research. I'm going to do things such as do consumer reports. I'm going to find out as much as I can. Let's see, nowadays we've got some online services that'll help me find out about that car. It'll tell me who the history of the car was, who had it before me, if it was in an accident. And that's exactly what we mean when we talk about reconnaissance and footprinting. Hi, my name is Dale Meredith, and I'd like to welcome you to Ethical Hacking Reconnaissance Footprinting. Now, you may hear me throughout the course talk about reconnaissance or recon or even footprinting. You need to know that they're kind of interchangeable, but some folks might actually say, well, footprinting is mapping out after you've done all your research. So if you just remember that footprinting is a part of reconnaissance, you'll be fine. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, you know I'm a big fan of quotes. Zora Hertzon, who's a famous literary author, once said, "Research is formalized curiosity. It is poking and prying with a purpose." And that's exactly what we do in reconnaissance and footprinting. Now you may be thinking, Dale, what do you mean by reconnaissance? What does it have to do with hacking? Well, back in our other course on understanding ethical hacking, we talked about how reconnaissance is actually one of our biggest phases that we go through as a hacker, or at least what a hacker goes through. And I related it to a sniper because we have both what they refer to as active and passive reconnaissance. In this case here, the spotter being passive, he's not doing anything, he's just looking at information. Active reconnaissance is very much what the sniper does. He actively does something to the target, right? Well, we want to be as passive as we can here. So we're going to go through and make sure you guys understand why we want to recon. Again, we're going to go through and gather as much information about our intended target that we can, which is going to actually help us in the long run. We'll then go through and take a look at the different types of recon. I kind of gave it away, but we're going to get more in depth because there's more than just active and passive. There's several other types of reconnaissance that we can do on a target. Then we'll go through and take a look at what is it we're looking at? What are the goals of reconnaissance? If it's so important, what type of information can we get? And believe me, there is a plethora. See, I got to use my big word again. There's a plethora of information that we can gather that the target or the company that we're going after will never know. And I'm going to flip back and forth here, folks, because in some cases I'm going to be talking like the attacker. That is my job as an ethical hacker, is to think like a hacker, I'm going to be a profiler, so I'm going to think like the hacker. But in other times you're going to hear me talk about, if I'm an ethical hacker, I could be doing reconnaissance as part of a penetration test to help a company protect itself. So we want to see what are the goals or what is the information that the attacker might see on the company that we're representing. And of course, there's never a good geek session without playing around with some tools. So we're going to go through, you're going to see a lot of tools coming up, especially in further chapters here, that you're going to get some hands-on, which is really kind of cool. And again, we're not going to do anything too active. We're going to do a lot of passive recon here. So get your ball cap, put it on sideways. Let's get busy.